Good evening and a very warm welcome. You're watching Primetime News on TV1, coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Theruni Karuna Ratna for the Newsfirst team. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
A trusted place for your fixed deposit. Valuable FD, a symbol of stability.
Constitutional Council approves appointment of Justice Murdu Fernando as Chief Justice. 5 new members appointed to the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka. Inaugural session of the new Parliament scheduled for next Thursday. 21 female members and 18 doctors elected to the 10th Parliament of Sri Lanka. Individuals neither in the national list nor candidates at the parliamentary election cannot be named as national list MPs to Parliament.
ජාතික ලැයිස්තු හෝ පක්ෂ මෙතන කොට්ටාසිදු නාම යෝජනා පත්‍රයක තියෙන නමකින් බැහැර වෙනත් නමක් මන්ත්‍රී දුරස්ථ ගැසට් කිරීමේ හැකියාවක් නැහැ.
Namal Rajapaksa to enter Parliament through the national list of the SLPP.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
A trusted place for your fixed deposit. Valuable FD, a symbol of stability.
On to those stories in detail now. The Constitutional Council has approved the appointment of Murdu Fernando as the Chief Justice.
The decision was made during a meeting of the Constitutional Council held last night, led by Mahinda Yapabewardena. The recommendation to appoint Murdu Fernando was forwarded to the Constitutional Council by the President. The current Chief Justice Jayantha Jayasuriya will retire on the 2nd of December. The new members of the Public Utilities Commission have received the approval of the Constitutional Council. It includes 5 members. The approved members are Professor K.P.L. Chandralal, Professor W.B.A. Rodrigo, Dr. M.P.S. Fernando, P. Hen Nayaka and High Court Judge Vikum Kaluarachi.
The National Election Commission says that a person who is neither on the national list nor a candidate who contested the parliamentary election cannot enter the parliament through the national list.
A total
of 11,815,246 people had cast their vote. This is 68.93% of the total registered voters. The voter turnout has reduced by about 10% compared to the previous presidential election. Also, 667,240 voters, or 5.65% of the votes, were rejected. A very peaceful atmosphere was observed during this election. Over 152,000 government officials, along with more than 64,000 police officers, provided support for this process.
Police Department police නිලධාරීන් මේ සඳහා සහයෝගය ලබා දුන්නා.
We have informed the General Secretaries of the parties to send us a list for the 29 national list seats. The secretaries of political parties or independent groups can now name the individuals for the national list seats from the initial list that they had submitted to us with the names of nominees. If the General Secretary of the party wants, he can also nominate the name of a person who contested the election and lost to enter Parliament as a national list MP. It is not possible to gazette the name of a person who has neither been nominated in the initial national list submitted by the parties nor a candidate who contested at the parliamentary election.
Meanwhile, several countries have extended their congratulations to the National People's Power on their victory at the recently held parliamentary election.
Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif extended his congratulations to President Anur Kumar Dissanayake. In a message on X, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said, "This victory achieved by Anur Kumar Dissanayake was an indication to the trust the people of this country have in his vision and leadership." The message also highlighted Pakistan's commitment to further strengthening the long-standing relations between the two countries. In response, President Anur Kumar Dissanayake also posted a message on X emphasizing that his government would continue to work closely with Pakistan to further strengthen the close and long-term ties between the two nations. To congratulate the National People's Power on its impressive victory in the parliamentary election, Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka Santosh Shah met with President Inaugural Disanayake. In a message posted on X, the Indian High Commission said, as a neighbouring democratic country, India congratulates the National People's Power on its success and is committed to further strengthening bilateral relations for the well-being of the people of both nations.
This year, over 175 new parliamentarians have been elected into the Parliament of Sri Lanka. Secretary-General of Parliament Kushani Rohanadira announced that a special counter will be set up in Parliament on the 19th and the 20th of November to collect information from all the newly elected parliamentarians. She further stated that the MPs will be officially notified on the 18th of November to attend the inaugural session of the 10th Parliament of Sri Lanka.
The inaugural session of the 10th Parliament will convene on the 21st of November at 10 a.m. During this session, a new Speaker, a Deputy Speaker and a Deputy Committee Chairman will be elected. There will be no specific allocation of seats for members during the first session, allowing MPs to sit wherever they choose. Parliamentary proceedings will commence after the mace is brought to the chamber. Following the appointment of the new Speaker, the newly elected MPs would also be sworn in. Parliament will then be adjourned until 3 p.m. and President Inaugural Disanayake will present the new government's policy statement.
The general public have elected a diverse group of members to the 10th Parliament of Sri Lanka. New members elected to Parliament include professors, lecturers, lawyers, entrepreneurs as well as social activists. 18 doctors are among those elected to the 10th Parliament of Sri Lanka.
National People's Power, Colombo District, Dr. Mohammed Rizvi. Gampaha District, Dr. Krishantha Silva Abesena. Kalutara District, Dr. Nihal Abesingha. Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa. Gaul District, Dr. Nishantha Samaravira. Hambantota District, Dr. Salia Sandaruwan. Anuradhapura District, Dr. Susil Ranasingha. Polonnaruwa District, Dr. Jagat Vikramaratna. Ratnapura District, Dr. Janaka Senaratna. Kurunegala District, Dr. Namal Sudarshana. Dr. Nishantha Jagat Kumara. Kandy District, Dr. Mudita Hasanka. Dr. Prasanna Gunasena. Nuwara District, Dr. Madhura Seniviratna. Kegaul District, Dr. H.P. Dhammika. Batiklo District, Dr. Ilayathambi Srinath. Jaffna District, Dr. Sri Bhavanandaraja. Jaffna Independent Group number 17. Jaffna District, Dr. Ramanathan Arjuna.
News First with the people.
News First. Main sponsor.
Governmental, improving lives, elevating communities. Constructing essential bridges that connect villages in Ampara, Dehiyattakondia, in Rithi Maliadda, Badulla. A new bridge will improve daily travel for over 600 residents in Koleyaya and Aldenia. In Mahayangana, another bridge will provide critical access over the Unagala Oya, meeting the needs of local families. Committed to connecting communities and fostering progress across Sri Lanka. Governmental, Sri Lanka's most impactful rural development movement.
For the people, by the people. Governmental.
Generators for long-term rent. Multiways Engineering Private Limited. Soundproof generators. Long-term rent. Multiways Engineering Private Limited. Number 54.1 Delgahavatta Road, Ratmalana.
A trusted place for your fixed deposit. Valuable FD, a symbol of stability.
Soundproof generators. Long-term rent. Multiways Engineering Private Limited. Number 54.1 Delgahavatta Road, Ratmalana.
Step away from the conventional art of storytelling. Get ready for the Newsfirst Breakfast Rundown with me, Zulfikar Farzan.
ජාතික මෙහෙවරින් අපි කතා බහ කරන්නේ පුරුෂ පාර්ශවයට කාන්තා පාර්ශවයට වෙනසක් නැතුව ආයුර්වේදයට අනුව ලස්සන වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා.
හොඳම මොයිස්චරයිස් එක තමයි කොමඩු.
යම්කිසි වයස් මට්ටම් වලට පැමිණෙනකොට ඇතිවෙන බෝන් නොවන රෝග තත්ත්වයන් තුලදී කොයි ආකාරයෙන්ද ඇස ආරක්ෂා කරගන්නේ?
බහුලවම අන්ධභාවයට පත්වන රෝගී තත්ත්ව ගත්තොත් ඇත්තටම ලෝකයේ ලංකාවේ දෙකම නම්බර් 1 ඇත්තටම තියෙන සුද ඇහි සුද.
නිරාමිෂ සිතුවිලි වලින් තමයි පිබිදෙන්නේ. ඒනට ප්‍රශ්නේ ටික වෙලාවක් යනකොට වෙනස් පැත්තකට යන්න පුළුවන්.
මූලික අරමුණ සියදිවි හානි වැළැක්වීම වුණාට ඕනම කෙනෙකුට ඕනම ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඕනම ගැටලුවක් ගැන කතා කරන්න අපිත් එක්ක යොමු වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
ජාතික මෙහෙවර සතියේ දිනවල උදෑසන 11ට දිවිය සරු කරන්න ගන්නා වෙහෙස නැත ගොඩයාමක් තිබෙන දුෂ්කරතා හමුවේ එනමුතු දහසක් ලෙඩරෝග බොන්නට පිරිසිදු වතුර නැතුව නිකවරටිය කොටවෙහෙර 257 දිගන්නාව ජනතාවගේ හිත සුව පිණිස පිරිසිදු ජල පෙරණ පද්ධතියකට මුල් ගල තැබූ වගයි.
Welcome back. This is Primetime News on TV1. Sajid Premadasa said that the Samagi Jana Sandhanaya, which is led by the Samagi Jana Balavegia as the main opposition in Sri Lanka, is ready to provide maximum support to the new administration to ensure good governance.
Issuing a statement, Sajid Premadasa had congratulated the National People's Power on their victory at the parliamentary election. The statement stresses on the fact that the new government has got the required strength needed to ensure good governance and achieve the aspirations of the general public. Sajid Premadasa in the statement had recalled on how previous governments that secured a 2/3 majority in parliament had violated the democratic rights of the people. Sajid Premadasa had also extended his gratitude to all those who cast their vote for the Samagi Jana Balavegia at the parliamentary election.
General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, attorney Sagara Karyavasam, says that Namal Rajapaksa's name will be...
We have secured 2 parliamentary seats at the district level, as well as 1 seat from the national list. The national list seat has been allocated to Namal Rajapaksa, and our party has decided to utilize this opportunity to appoint him as a member of parliament and send him to the legislature. Will the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna leader, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, retire from politics? This was his response today.
නෑ අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙච්ච ගාන හම්බුණා නේ අපිට. දැන් මේ ඔබතුමාලා වැටුණු තැනින් නැගිටින්න මොකද්ද සැලැස්ම ඉදිරි සැලැස්ම? අපි මේ සාකච්ඡා කරමු තමයි හද. ඔබතුමාලා මේ සටන අත්හරිනවද මොකද ඉදිරියට කරන්නේ? දේශපාලනේ සමු ගන්නවද? නෑ එහෙම ලේසියෙන් සමු ගන්නෙත් නෑ. නෑ නේ. කවුද මුළු දේශපාලනේ සමෝරන් තියෙන්නේ? ඔබතුමා ශක්තියව ඉන්නව? ඕ ශක්තියව ඉන්නවා. රනිල් මහත්තයාත් එක්ක ආයි සාකච්ඡා යනවද? නෑ. එතුමාලට වෙච්ච දේ ගැන මොකද හිතන්නේ? දුකේ දෙච්චා.
Following the presidential election, many politicians decided to retire from politics on their own volition. Many other career politicians were forced out of politics and were sent home by the people through the power of their vote at the 2024 parliamentary election of Sri Lanka. The general public have sent packing 85 former members of parliament at this year's parliamentary election. Among those sent home are politicians who have been in the parliament for several generations. Although rejected by the people and even forced out by the people, there are still those who cannot make up their mind to simply let go. Views regarding the situation were expressed by several factions today.
Former Minister Mahinda Anandalukamage says that the people of the Kandy district have confirmed that they do not need his services anymore.
The people of the Kandy district decided at the recent parliamentary election that the services provided by the Alutgamage family for over 7 decades are no longer needed. I have made up my mind saying that I would always bow my head to the people's choices. I was of the opinion that I would remain in politics for as long as the people were with me. After this election, I have decided to respect the people's choice and quit politics. I wish all the best to all those who have stood with me and supported me.
This is how Mahindananda Alutgamage left his office after the media briefing while bidding farewell to his supporters.
A trusted place for your fixed deposit. Valuable FD, a symbol of stability.
Soundproof generators, long-term rent, Multiways Engineering Private Limited, number 54.1, Delgahavatta Road, Ratmalana.
ජාතික මෙහෙවරින් අපි කතා බහ කරන්නේ පුරුෂ පාර්ශවයට කාන්තා පාර්ශවයට වෙනසක් නැතුව ආයුර්වේදයට අනුව ලස්සන වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා.
හොඳම මොයිස්චරයිස් එක තමයි කොමඩු.
යම්කිසි වයස් මට්ටම් වලට පැමිණෙනකොට ඇතිවෙන බෝන් නොවන රෝග තත්ත්වයන් තුලදී කොයි ආකාරයෙන්ද ඇස ආරක්ෂා කරගන්නේ?
බහුලවම අන්ධභාවයට පත්වන රෝගී තත්ත්ව ගත්තොත් ඇත්තටම ලෝකයේ ලංකාවේ දෙකම නම්බර් 1 ඇත්තටම තියෙන සුද ඇහි සුද.
නිරාමිෂ සිතුවිලි වලින් තමයි පිබිදෙන්නේ. ඒනට ප්‍රශ්නේ ටික වෙලාවක් යනකොට වෙනස් පැත්තකට යන්න පුළුවන්.
මූලික අරමුණ සියදිවි හානි වැළැක්වීම වුණාට ඕනම කෙනෙකුට ඕනම ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඕනම ගැටලුවක් ගැන කතා කරන්න අපිත් එක්ක යොමු වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
ජාතික මෙහෙවර සතියේ දිනවල උදෑසන 11ට.
Governmental, improving lives, elevating communities. Constructing essential bridges that connect villages in Ampara, Dehiyattakondia, in Rithi Maliadda, Badulla. A new bridge will improve daily travel for over 600 residents in Koleyaya and Aldenia. In Mahayangana, another bridge will provide critical access over the Inaugural Oya, meeting the needs of local families. Committed to connecting communities and fostering progress across Sri Lanka. Governmental, Sri Lanka's most impactful rural development movement.
For the people, by the people. Governmental.
ජාතික මෙහෙවරින් අපි කතා බහ කරන්නේ පුරුෂ පාර්ශවයට කාන්තා පාර්ශවයට වෙනසක් නැතුව ආයුර්වේදයට අනුව ලස්සන වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා.
හොඳම මොයිස්චරයිස් එක තමයි කොමඩු.
යම්කිසි වයස් මට්ටම් වලට පැමිණෙනකොට ඇතිවෙන බෝන් නොවන රෝග තත්ත්වයන් තුලදී කොයි ආකාරයෙන්ද ඇස ආරක්ෂා කරගන්නේ?
බහුලවම අන්ධභාවයට පත්වන රෝගී තත්ත්ව ගත්තොත් ඇත්තටම ලෝකයේ ලංකාවේ දෙකම නම්බර් 1 ඇත්තටම තියෙන සුද ඇහි සුද.
නිරාමිෂ සිතුවිලි වලින් තමයි පිබිදෙන්නේ. ඒනට ප්‍රශ්නේ ටික වෙලාවක් යනකොට වෙනස් පැත්තකට යන්න පුළුවන්.
මූලික අරමුණ සියදිවි හානි වැළැක්වීම වුණාට ඕනම කෙනෙකුට ඕනම ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඕනම ගැටලුවක් ගැන කතා කරන්න අපිත් එක්ක යොමු වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
ජාතික මෙහෙවර සතියේ දිනවල උදෑසන 11ට. පවුල් 557ක් පමණ ජීවත් වන ගම්මානයක්. තිබහට බොන්න වතුර නෑ. තිබුණත් ඒ වතුර පිරිසිදු නෑ. කිලෝමීටර ගණනක් දුර ගෙවාගෙන යනවා පිරිසිදු ජලය සොයාගෙන. ජීවිතය දුෂ්කර වෙලා. අනුරාධපුර මධ්‍යම නුවරගම් පළාතේ පරසන් ගස්වැව ජනතාවගේ දුක නිවාලමින් ජල පෙරණියකට ගම්මැද්දින් මුල්ගල තැබූ වගයි.
First in your heart, Sri Lanka's #1, the Sirasa Media Network.
Welcome back. Several records were broken at the recently concluded 2024 parliamentary election of Sri Lanka. The 10th Parliament of Sri Lanka will be the parliament that has the highest number of female representatives throughout the history of Sri Lanka. 21 female representatives were elected through popular vote to the 10th Parliament of Sri Lanka at the recently concluded election.
The world's very first female Prime Minister was elected in Sri Lanka. In most cases, women get political power by inheriting it either through their father or husband. However, this situation has completely changed. 21 women were elected to the 10th Parliament of Sri Lanka, where none of them have any such influence.
What is the history of female representation in the parliament of our country?
Sri Lanka was granted universal franchise in 1931 through the Donoughmore constitutional reforms. The first woman elected to the State Council, the country's first state assembly, was Adeline Molamure, who won the by-elections for the Ruanwala seat. Since then, no parliament has had female representation surpassing 6%. The highest number of women ever to serve at the same time in parliament is 13.
Who and what are the qualifications of women elected to parliament this time?
19 out of the 21 elected women are from the National People's Power. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya has been elected to the parliament after she secured 655,289 votes in the Colombo district. Dr. Kaushalya Aryaratna, contesting from the Colombo district, secured 80,814 votes to enter the parliament. Saman Maligunasinghe, another candidate who contested from the Colombo district, holds a Bachelor of Psychology from the University of Peradeniya. She secured a seat in parliament after getting a total of 59,657 votes. Attorney Nilanthi Kottahachi, who contested from Kaluthara, has been elected to parliament this time after she secured 31,375 votes. Another female representative elected to parliament from the Kaluthara district is Oshani Umanga, an entrepreneur. She secured 69,932 votes. Hemali Sujiva, a teacher contesting from the Gampaha district, has been elected to parliament through the National People's Power after she secured 66,737 votes. Attorney Sagarika Thauda, contesting from the Kegol district, has been elected to parliament after securing 59,019 votes. Attorney Nilusha Lakmali from Ratnapura secured 48,791 votes, while Attorney Tushari Jayasinghe, contesting from the National People's Power in Kandy, secured 58,223 votes to enter the parliament. Attorney Anusha Tilakaratna secured 34,035 votes, also won a seat in parliament from the Nuwara district. Social activist Krishnan Kalechelvi, who received 33,346 votes, also entered the parliament from Nuwara. Deepthi Wasalage, a graduate in physics from the University of Peradeniya, secured 47,482 votes from Matale, won a seat in parliament. Attorney Hasara Nainathara Prematilaka, representing the National People's Power from the Gaul district, won 82,058 votes and secured a seat in parliament. Saroja Savitri Polraj, who is a teacher, was elected to parliament from the Mathura district after she secured 148,307. Ambika Selvam from the Badula district, who had worked in the insurance sector before entering politics, secured 58,201 votes and won a seat in parliament. Chatri Gangani, a teacher, contested and won a seat from the Monaragala district after securing 42,930 votes. Attorney Geeta Ratnakumari, a lawyer from Kurunagala, secured 84,414 votes and won a seat in parliament. Attorney Hirani Vijay Singhe, who contested from the Putlam district, secured 44,057 votes, while Muthumani K. Ratwata, a former military officer from Diga Madulla, secured 32,145 votes and won a seat in parliament.
Nilanthi Kottahachi, who has been elected to parliament from the Kaluthara district through the National People's Power, expressed her views during a media briefing held today.
There is no regional distinction whether it is the north or the upcountry. The women of this country, representing the majority from all areas, have been given the trust and the respect of the people to represent them in places where laws are made for women. I truly believe that this is a moment where public opinion is genuinely represented. Therefore, I am confident that with the trust of the people, women's representation can provide real solutions to many of the issues faced by the majority of women in this country. We believe that through the power of the people, we can create a future where those solutions are implemented.
සැබෑ විසඳුමක් ලබා දිය හැකි අනාගතයක් මහජන බලයක් තුලින් අපිට නිර්මාණය කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා.
දැන් යන්න ඉන්නත් එපායි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට. මේක තියෙන හොඳම පොත. මේක වල්පොළ රාහුල හම්දු ලියපු බුදුන් අදාළ ධර්ම. ඉගෙනගෙන නිමාඩු වේලාවක මේක කියවන්න.
සිංහල මුස්ලිම් තමිල් සියලු අයගේ මුළුමනින්ම සම්පූර්ණ ආදරය මන් දිනාගත කෙනෙක් කියන ආඩම්බරයක් සතුටක් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම ඒගොල්ලෝගේ විශ්වාසය.
I feel proud and happy that I won the love of everyone from the Sinhala, Muslim and Tamil communities, and I will ensure that I will not break their trust. I will give my best contribution to build the life of those people. This is really a historic vote. It reflected that politicians cannot divide our country on the basis of race and religion. Our people showed that all races are one and we are Sri Lankans. They understood that they only needed someone to free them from slavery and they chose one from the national people's power. That's the win.
The people rejected traditional politics here and gave us a special power. So our task at this moment is to protect the trust that those people have placed in us. We work with a common feeling. Not everyone has an individual opinion. There will never again be wars between religions and castes in Sri Lanka.
Shifting your attention to news overseas, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is confident that the war with Russia will come to a close more quickly once Donald Trump assumes the presidency of the United States of America.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he is certain the war with Russia will end sooner than it otherwise would have done once Donald Trump becomes US president. Zelensky said he had a constructive exchange with Trump during their phone conversation after his victory in the US presidential election. He did not say whether Trump had made any demands regarding possible talks with Russia, but said he'd not heard anything from him that was contrary to Ukraine's position. Trump has consistently said his priority is to end the war and stop what he says is a drain on US resources in the form of military aid to Ukraine. It is certain that the war will end sooner with the policies of the team that will now lead with the White House. This is their approach, their promise to their citizens, Zelensky said in an interview with foreign media. He added that Ukraine must do everything so that this war ends next year and through diplomatic means. Zelensky said the situation on the battlefield is difficult, with Russian forces making advances. He said US legislation only allows him to meet with Trump after his inauguration in January.
Jake Paul has beaten boxing legend Mike Tyson by a unanimous decision to win an intergenerational heavyweight battle in Texas that failed to live up to its enormous hype.
YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul left a permanent stain on two-time heavyweight champion Mike Tyson's boxing legacy with a tedious points win in front of 70,000 frustrated fans in Texas and millions watching the controversial bout on streaming powerhouse Netflix. Fans were left largely disappointed as Tyson showed his age and was never able to generate any offense against his younger opponent, landing just 18 punches to Paul's 78. First and foremost, Mike Tyson, it's an honor to be able to fight him, said Paul. It was as tough and hard as I thought it would be. Tyson, who wore a knee brace, never mounted much of a challenge after being wobbled by some left hands in the third round, but did enough defensively to avoid taking any serious damage.
And with that, we wrap up news for tonight. Thank you for watching. Take care. Good night.